is not to do a monologue. The monologue to me is the worst thing ever created because it says I'm doing it myself. But most people, as you saw with JJ, who did a monologue, most people are talking to at least one other person, even if they're up there by themselves. If they're talking to themselves, the other part of themselves is there, so that there's some kind of connection, interaction, rather than just inside your navel, you know, because it gets out there. So it's an exercise to help us do that. We're going to start by asking everybody to tell us who came to the party. What character did you invite to the party to work on?
A foreman from Cool Hand Luke.
From Cool Hand Luke, the
That's
foreman.
the film.
Who played that, George?
I don't know. I
mean,
don't
it
know.
wasn't
I don't
Paul-
remember his name. He's a great actor.
Paul Newman, but it was George, what's his name? No?
The older guy. No, I
Okay.
don't remember. I don't remember the name.
Welcome back, Elena Blaine.
I'm Anna Blaine.
Elena.
I'm just
Blaine.
gonna do
Anna,
it.
sorry. Anna.
I got this off on monologue blogger.com. So it's just like a small, monologue from
And then I'm
online.
So I'm supposed to say that no such thing as small monologues, just small actors?
Yeah. No.
Okay, all right. So.
Yeah. The character, I forgot the character's name. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
you'll think of it.
Yeah. I'll think.
Okay. Chris,
Not aware to have anything else, so I'm just gonna bring Troy back.
what would you
Troy.
like? What would you like to do?
Let's do Troy again.
Troy again.
Yeah.
Okay. Trudy.
Georgie from Spike Hills.
Georgie from Spike Hills by
Teresa Rebecca.
Teresa Rebecca. Angie?
Salma from Superman and Serena by Omar Bakri.
If I see people that were in the checkoff, I'm gonna give them a big announcing name because I didn't do that. So, this is Grady Shea, right here, yes. What are you gonna do this time?
I'll do a piece from the Glass Menagerie. Tom.
Tom. Chris?
Doing Trigorin from the Seagull.
Trigorin from the Seagull. He didn't make it in the first checkoff, but this time he's getting in. John Fennessy.
This is Hilton from The End of the Day.
Richard III
Richard.
by Bill Shakespeare.
As opposed to Fred Shakespeare.
Liam Shakespeare.
You're not gonna use the baby for Richard III this time?
You
got
need
that
to.
handed. Good, good. David?
I'll be performing a poem I wrote called A Paean to the God Emperor.
Terrific. This is David Malinsky, who was in the checkoff. I didn't announce him. This is David. Mike?
I'm going to be Yasha from The Cherry Orchard by Anton Chekhov.
Lovely. Rosie Shu, who was in the checkoff.
I'm going to be Cynthia from Goodbye Charles by Gabriel Davis.
And this is Madison Q.
I'll be playing Azela from the Laramie Project.
JJ?
Falstaff from Merry Wives of Windsor.
Always with a bottle.
As opposed to Hampstead Heath.
Very nice. Marlene?
Serafina, Rosa Tattoo.
Rosa Tattoo. Tennessee
Accents
Williams.
well,
I brought to the party Alice from the play Closer by Patrick Marber.
Bravo. Bravo. Serge?
I'll be Brick from Ken the Hot Tin Roof.
Glad you got it in. Good. We're continuing work on that. We got enough, I think, if you don't mind, guys, can we do it in 2 acts? The first act and the second act? Can you do the first half of it? And the second time it comes around, would you pick up the second half of it? If you can. Maybe Mike, David. Maybe you better do the whole, because you did.
I'll do the whole one twice?
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, too.
Or I could do a different poem.
Okay,
I could do two of them.
that's good for both of them. Is that all right?
I'm doing Hermione from A Winter's
Oh,
Tale.
Maria.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's a fine, yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Hermione, A Winter's Tale.
Great, terrific, which is, a preview of our, not so much Shakespeare period, but in the spring, we focus a lot on Shakespeare, and we do a thing called Bard at the Bar at the Players Club in New York every year, and before that, the end of March 28th, if anybody's up in Putnam County, up the river there, not up the river, up the Hudson, up Metro North, about an hour. Beautiful theater called Arts on the Lake. Invite us to do it there. It's a collage of old Shakespeare scenes, monologue songs, and so a preview here.
Preview.
All right, so what we're gonna try and do is take the first half of your speech, and when it comes around to us the second time, we're gonna pick up with the second half. Not so much just to do two parts, but to kind of think about how that second half might be different. Emotionally, where's that journey going emotionally? Where's the story going that changes the second half a little bit? Even if it's very subtle, to be thinking about what happens to that piece, rather than just one level of speech. Okay? And a couple of Maria, I think Maria did it once with us, but we whoever starts goes to someone, and when you finish whatever you have to say, you're not finished, because now you become the listener of the person you end up, and your listening is your character to another character. So you're reacting and listening. If I'm doing Hamlet and I pass it off to Ingie doing Medea, I might become to her Jason in Medea, but I'm still Hamlet. So I'm really listening as Hamlet. And the real work is really the listening, isn't it? I mean, it's hard enough to speak, I understand, of course. But the listening without speaking is a monologue also, only it's not spoken aloud. And that's the tough work, isn't it? I mean, and the camera and the audience can tell when we're not listening. So we have to sort of try to keep listening. And we don't know when we're going to be speaking, because we don't know who's coming to us and when. The other thing is try to speak off of the person first. So if I finish off of Grady, he starts and talks to me for a couple of lines before he moves to somebody else and makes them the character he needs. Okay? Rather than just leaving me right away. So connect in some way to the tone that you got, rather than the way you thought last night it should go when you start the speech. We all have that wonderful choice of what I want to do at the beginning, and then somebody comes along and ruins it. You know, we think. But connect first. We'll all be in character, and first person we'll hear, though, will be Shruti. They're all in character.
I understand you all right. This part, I think I left out something. But what I don't have, you know, what I really want to know, is if you're so fucking real, Lydia, what the hell are you doing here? I mean, don't get me wrong, but like if you're just so much better than me, then why even bother? You could just wait it out and I would drift away like a piece of paper, like nothing, because that's all I am, nothing, right? So why are you here tearing me apart? I mean, I buy it. We all buy it. My family all of a sudden like Mary Tyler Moore or something, and what the fuck is that about?
You should come around one night and come watch your husband blubbering into his pillow. His big thing at the moment is how upset his parents are. Apparently, they all worshipped you and can't understand why you had to ruin everything. Why don't you go back to him? You're even beautiful when you're angry. The perfect woman. It's taken me 5 months to convince myself that you're not better than me. Why'd you do it? You fell in love, as if you didn't have a choice.
When I think of men, I think about my husband. My husband was Sicilian. We had loved together every night of the week. We never skipped one. From the night we was married to the night he was killed on that fruit truck on that road there. Well, maybe that is the reason I'm not a man crazy, don't like hearing the talk of women that are. But I'm interested now in the happiness of my daughter, who's graduating this morning out of high school. And I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. The band is playing. And I lost her wristwatch, her graduation present. Go on, you two men of crazy things. You would pick up a man on Canal Street, but not at my house. At my window. In front of my dead husband's ashes. I'm not at all interested.
Listen, do you think that I'm crazy about the warehouse? Do you think that I'm in love with the Continental Shoemakers? Do you think I'd rather somebody come in here and pick up a crowbar and batter around my brains? And you're right. That's exactly what I want. Every time you come in yelling that goddamn rise and shine, I think to myself how lucky dead people are. But I go. Every morning I go. And for $65 a month, I give up everything that I dreamed of doing or being ever. And you say self is all I ever think of. Well, listen, if self was all I ever thought of, I'd be where he is. I'd be gone as far as the system of transportation reaches.
You come to know what hath passed between me and Ford's wife. I will not lie to you. I was there the hour she appointed, but sped very ill-favoredly. The Peking Cornuto, her husband, Master Brooke, comes me the very moment of our encounter after we had kissed, embraced, and as it were spoke the prologue of our comedy. And at his heels, a rabble of his followers, thither instigated and provoked by his distemper. And forsooth to search his house for his wife's love, while I was there. Well, fortunately, comes one Mistress Page who gives intelligence of Ford's approach, and in her invention and Ford's distraction, they conveyed me into a basket. A buck basket, by the rood, ran me in with foul shirts and smocks, foul stockings, greasy napkins. That, Master Brooke, that was the rankest pile of villainous filth that ever did offend nostril.
Don't you talk that way to me. Don't you ever talk that way to me. Don't you ever, never! What we have here is a failure to communicate. There's some men you just can't reach. Now, I don't like it any more than you do. But it's the way he wants it.
Well, sir, every so often you say to me, Brick, we need to have a talk. And when we talk, it never materializes. You guess about this and that, and I try to listen. I try to look like I listen, but I don't listen. Not much, Big Daddy. Communication between people just never works out, and for some reason between you and I, it just doesn't happen. Anyway, how about those birthday congratulations, these many, many happy returns when everybody but you knows that it ain't gonna happen. Well, come on, Big Daddy. Let's go watch the fireworks. Come on, let's go. Oh, let's go, Big Daddy.
Man, I am proud of you, kid. Best thing ever happened to my daughter is you walking out. I mean, she's not doing so hot right now, but that's neither here nor there, is it? I was just out of the harbor. I got 11 tons of kiwi fruit sitting there on the dock. From Christchurch, New Zealand. And I got a restaurant workers strike, so the whole thing's rotting away anyway, and the smell is so stinking sweet. That made me sick to my stomach. So I figured I'd come see you, see how you're doing. Now, before you say, look, you're my son-in-law, right? You're my You're my son-in-law. I love you. I always will. You come into our family from England, and I never seen such an item such as you. You are one of the major items I have ever seen. I just hope we can keep going to Dodger games and attract together. But I'm round circling my point here. There is an issue that has come up, which is deeply torturing me, and I'm too proud of you, and I respect you too much to let it go by. It has to do with the cleaning of slates. I have an accounting, and if you're really serious about making this big step change, and you want to make it clean, it's something we have to address. See, I have a fiduciary responsibility to my daughter. Please understand that. I think you always had me wrong. I'm no gangster. I'm just a guy trying to make a buck on tomatoes and lettuce and take care of his kids. So you walked. It's okay, that's cool. I only wish that I could do it myself. But I have an accounting.
Rose, I done tried all my life to live decent, but to lead a clean, hard, useful life. I've done everything I can to be a good husband to you in every way I know how. Maybe I walked into this world backwards, I don't know. But you got 2 strikes when you walk to the plate. And you got to guard closely. You can't afford a call strike. If you're going down, you're going down swinging. Everything is lined up against you. What are you going to do?
Sir, spare your threats. The bug which you would frighten me with, I seek. To me, life can be no commodity. the crown and comfort of my life, your favor I do give lost. For I do feel it gone, but know not how it went. My second joy, and first fruits of my body, from his presence I am barred like one infectious. My third comfort, starred most unluckily, is from my breast. The innocent milk in its most innocent mouth, hailed out to murder. Myself on every post proclaimed a strumpet, with a modest hatred, the childbed privilege denied, which longs to women of all fashion.
Yes, it feels good when I'm writing, and it feels good when I'm reading proofs, but I just can't bear it when it's just been published, and I see that it's wrong, a mistake, that it shouldn't have been written at all, and I get low in spirit, and I feel irritated, and the public reads it as, yes, pleasing, but a long way from Tolstoy, or a beautiful thing, but Turgenev's Fathers and Sons is better. And to the tomb it remains, nice and talented, nothing more. And when I die, my friends will say, walking past my grave, here lies Trigorin. He was a good writer, but Turgenev was better.
No, don't do that. Don't ask me to marry you. Don't ask that one more time. Just listen. I can't let you do this to me. I mean, before I met you, I used to be such a bitch. I mean, no one actually liked me. Those people I introduced to you as my friends, they are not my friends. They are scared of me. Or, at least, they were. Before I met you.
I fooled them, Rose. I bunted. Once I found you, Corey had a halfway decent job, I was safe. Wasn't going back to the penitentiary. Was going to lay in the streets with a bottle of wine. I had me a family, a job, I was safe, I wasn't getting that call strike. I stood on first place, waiting for one of those boys to knock me in, to bring me home. I met that gal. She firmed up my backbone, and I just thought, maybe if I try, I might be able to steal something. You understand? After 18 years, I just wanted to steal a second.
Arise, arise, for you are free! You are free men! Free from the shackles and the terrors, the snips, the snarls, the upturned noses, the milk-white eyes, the sticky, sweet, simpering, sucking, ever sucking on the shards of your shattered soul. Brothers, scream with me! Empty your lungs! Drown out that courtly cacophony, tyrants of time and taste who break us to bow. You shall not rule us! You will never rule us again. I declare to all the world, throughout the universe, that I am a man. I exist in nature and seek to do as nature would have me do. Destroy, build, conquer, create, copulate. I have a mind, a body, a life. Let me use them as I will. No more will I submit to fools, those creaky, cracky, crusted Christ, blood and bursting blow eaters, bubbling blast, barbarians. We are barbarians, charging in, gnashing out at the truth of human life, so blinded by wrong's brightness, your gates have hid you from the truth. We will wipe them out forever and take our rightful place, and then, only then, shall you be as free as we. Our fathers fought to erect this empire. We must use it. I thank you, great Lord, for bequeathing it to us. Let us remake the world anew.
Bilbo Bandrevna, may I come to you with a request? If you go to Paris again, please take me with you. It is positively impossible for me to stay here. This is a country without morals, a people without education, and the kitchen is disgusting, and that Furs guy mumbles every word that makes no sense at all. And then there's this boredom. If you go to Paris, please take me with you.
I have no control over my own life. Doctor, I try to do the things people want me to do, but I end up not doing them right. Last week, I wasn't invited to the biggest party of the year. I've been preparing a special dress for that party for weeks now. But people, they're snobs. They take you in so far only when you're different. Mother says it's my fault. She says people like us have to make more effort. I don't make enough parties. My parties aren't swingy enough. My husband, he's too much of a clot. She wants me to reach out for bigger names, get more into society. But I don't like to invite people I don't know. I don't even know if I like society. And I told her my life was unbearable. Just unbearable. She told me to go to one of those places to relax. You can't relax.
We went to the candle vigil, and it felt so good to be with people who felt like shit. I kept feeling like I don't deserve to feel this bad, you know? And then someone got up there. He said, blah, 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 blah. And then he said, I'm saying it wrong, but basically he said, come on guys, let's show the whole world that Laramie is not this kind of town. But it is this kind of town. I mean, if it wasn't this kind of town, then why did this happen here? I mean, like that's a lie, because it happened here. So how could it not be the kind of town where this kind of thing just happens?
Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this son of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. Now are our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers nimbly in a lady's chamber to the lascivious pleasing of a lute.
My table came to life. Yeah, I was just staring at it, and it came to life. It started with the legs of the table. Yeah, it was quick, and I had to blink my eyes really hard to make sure they weren't playing tricks on me. Then it happened. it was like, what the heck is going on here? I was just staring at the table. Yeah, it was glass. A glass coffee table.
Lastly, brought here to this place in the open air before I have got strength of limit. Now, my liege, tell me what blessings I have here alive that I should fear to die. Therefore proceed. But yet hear me this. Mistake me not, no life, I prize it not a straw, but for mine honor, which I would free. If I shall be condemned upon surmises, all proof sleeping else but what your jealousies awake, I tell you 'tis rigor, not law. Your honors all. I refer me to the oracle. Apollo be my judge.
Now I can be just as kind as the next man. And Lord knows, I don't like whipping nobody. And at night, I gotta go home and sit with my kids with a clear conscience. And I do read the Bible on Sundays. But when you start putting that honky stuff on me, well, I just gotta react. I can't just sit and take it, can I?
Why'd you do it? You fell in love? As if you didn't have a choice. There's always a moment. I can give in to this. I can resist this. I don't know when your moment was, but I'm sure there was one. No. I didn't fall in love. I chose him. I remember looking into his briefcase and I found these sandwiches. I remember thinking, I would love this charming man who cuts off his crust. Do the right thing, Anna.
I mean, okay. They live their lives in hell, right? They spend their entire lives wishing they were somewhere else. Living on a street with trees, on a fucking TV show, I don't know. But I made it. I moved to Boston. I work in a law office. I'm the big success story. You know what? They have no fucking idea what that means. It means instead of getting harassed by guys in bars, I get harassed by guys in suits. Guys who talk nice. Guys with glasses. Guys in suits. I don't have anything left to say to you except shame on you. Shame on you for thinking you're so much better than me. And shame on you for being so fucking mean.
Before you, I never smiled or laughed at anyone else's jokes but mine. I never said please or thank you at restaurants. I never tipped more than 10%. But since being with you, I have had those thoughts, those urges that I have to help people, that I have to help in soup kitchens, that I have to donate to charities, and hug people. Don't you see? Don't you see you have made me nice? And so one day, years from now, I'll wake up and have the horrible realization that I have lived a good life, that I contributed. Oh, please, for the sake of God, put that box away. I'm asking you. No, I'm begging you. I'm going to get down on my knees. Will you please, please, please not marry me?
I don't have to say it, you can say it for yourself. Please. Take me with you.
Like, it's just like looking at an Escher painting and getting all confused. Like, it's just totally circular logic. Like, how can you even say that? And we have to mourn and be sad that we live in a town, a state, a country where shit like this happens. I mean, these are people trying to distance themselves from this crime, and we need to own this crime. I feel everyone needs to own it. We are like this. We are like this. We are like this.
Don't grab at me, Mother. I'm going to the movies. You're right. I'm going to opium dens! Yes, opium dens, dens of vice and criminal hangout! I carry a Tommy gun and a violin case because I'm a hired assassin. I run a string of cat houses across the valley. I spin away fortunes on the roulette table. Sometimes I put on false whiskers and a mustache. They call me El Diablo. I can tell you things to make you sleepless. My enemies plan to dynamite this whole place. They're gonna blow us all sky high, and I'm glad. I'll be happy, and so will you. You'll go up on your broomstick over Blue Mountain, you ugly, babbling old witch.
I'm not at all interested. I'm not interested in men getting fat and bald in soldier boy play suits, tearing the clothes off a girl's canal street and dropping paper sacks at the hotel windows. I'm just not interested in that sort of man crazy business. I think everybody has a gun already. I think so.
Oh, but we are doing God, you.
David has.
Oh.
War's off on the minds of boys. Playing battles in sand pits. G.I. Joes and stormtroopers, maybe even real army men. Do not decry this. Let it happen here. Let boys war with toys so men don't have to. Let war stay in its cages, its ink cages, its glass cages, its digital cages, in the minds and labor of reenactors and the systems of game designers, in a little boy's notebook saying, let's you and him fight. Let it all stay there. Oh, Herodotus. Oh, Ares. Oh, you ghosts of Leonidas, Alexander, Khan, Frederick, Bonaparte, Patton, stay! Stay. Release your bloody steam in our imaginations and bring us joy so we bring not ourselves pain. Oh, but just not war. Make men, make nations. Dead, crippled men and hateful nations. But I was never at war. I only played at it hours on end. So let war stay and not bother us again.
Being crammed in the basket thus, the lunatic knave sent for a couple of his hinds to convey me in the name of our clothes to Datchet Lane. Well, they hoisted the basket on their shoulders, then I quaked in fear lest the lunatic knave should search the basket and find me within. But fate, ordaining he should be a cuckold, held his hand. But mark you the sequel, Master Brooke. I suffered the pangs of 3 several deaths. First, an intolerable fear to be detected by a jealous, rotten bellwether. Next, to be conferenced in the circumference of a peck, hilt to point, heel to head, with stinking clothes that fretted in their own grease. And then to be thrown into the Thames, hissing hot like a horseshoe. Think of that, Master Brooke. A man of my kidney, a man that is as subject to heat as is butter, a man of continual dissolution and thaw. Think of that, Master Brooke.
I never liked myself. I don't admire what I write. First of all, I kind of live in a daze. I don't understand what I write. I love the water, the trees, the sky. I feel nature, which stirs a passion in me, an irresistible desire to write. But I'm not just a landscape artist. I am also a citizen. I love my country, I love the people, and I feel that as a writer, it is my duty to talk about the people, their sufferings, about science, the rights of man, and so on and so on. And so I talk about everything. I hurry, and people bear down on me from all directions, and they get angry. And I dart from side to side like a fox trapped by hounds. And I see science and life advancing ever onward. And I get left further and further behind like a peasant who's missed his train. And in the end, I feel that I can only write about landscaping, and that in everything else, I am false to the marrow of my bones.
I have an accounting for you. 767,000 dollars. Well, look, I paid for 3 residencies. When you went to medical school, when you decided you wanted to be a shrink, then when you didn't want to be a shrink, and you wanted to be an oncologist, bankrolled that, the Peugeot and Respairs. I went off and got the, did I get you the 65-foot catch in Marina Del Rey? Plus, we had the clothes, the hats, the trips, and then you left my daughter without consulting me. And when it all came down for you, who was there for you? Right? I think I gotta tell you something about Americans. We take care of you. That's what we do. And I was proud of you because my other son, Max, is one of the biggest disappointments in a world and life full of disappointments. Maybe I blame myself. I mean, I should have been more careful with you. I know this town is tough to make a living in. It's really tough to make a living. I mean, you go out on the street, they laugh at you. You go out, they laugh at your shoes. I walked in to Spago's with my blue hush puppies. They spit on me. What I'm saying is, I went too much time in a whorehouse, you know, pal. I had too many days bending over. And one thing is true. This ball could roll 7 ways to Sunday, but it stops with me getting fucked by you.
Get back inside your cell. I don't want to hear no blabber. Being goddamn foreman. I live with a bunch of psychos. Jesus Christ, no wonder I can't lose my mind. It's your turn.
But I am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass. I that want love's majesty, to strut before a wanton, ambling nymph. I that am curtailed of this fair proportion, cheated of feature, by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world, scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I hold by them. I in this weak piping time of peace have no delight to pass away the time, unless to see my shadow in the sun and descant on mine own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover, to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain and hate the idle pleasures of these days.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, Big Daddy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe being alive is what makes people alive. And being sort of alive makes me be truthful. Anyway, we've been friends. And being a friends is always telling each other the truth. You told me, and I told you.
Bravo. That's a lot of telling. Yeah. Tonight, the best notes are just from watching each other and experiencing the doing of it. Thursday at Mildred's, we'll have notes on the evening from all of us, yeah? And those of you who, please bring in Shakespeare Thursday. It doesn't have to be memorized. It would be great if it were, but it doesn't have to be. Just bring in what you have. You can read it, you can be holding it, whatever. I just want to get us going again with some of that.